Alright, in 4.9 we're going to go over radians and sector area. So the first vocab word will be radians is a measurement of an angle, which means that it will be dealing with pi, which can also be represented in degrees. So for example, if I go 180 degrees around a circle, that's the same thing as going pi, a distance of pi. If I go a full distance around a circle, that would be 360 degrees, which means I'd have two 180s, which means it's the same as 2 pi. So we have two different types of measurements for angles. It's kind of like when we measure in, if we wanted to do meters or if we want to do feet, right? We have different measurements. So it's the same with angles. We can measure them in two different ways. I'm just going to give you the formulas now, actually. If you want to make degrees into radians, you have to multiply it by pi over 180. And I'll explain these later. I'm just giving you the formulas now, so in case you want to, you can have them. If I want to take radians and set them equal to degrees to find the degree, I have to get rid of the radians, so I'm going to do the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply by 180 and divide by pi. And I'll explain those more in detail. Then we have sector area. So the sector of a circle is kind of like a piece of pizza. This would be considered a sector. It's created by two radii. There's the two radii and an arc. There's the arc. So that is the sector that's created. If I want to find the area of this sector, it's really cool because the area, it will be equal to pi r squared, but you don't want the full distance of the circle. You don't want the whole area. You only want the degrees that are given over 360. So that's in degrees. If it was in radians, it'd be 1/2 theta r squared. And we'll go over this some more. So these are just the vocabulary words and the 4 equations we will be using today. So for example 1, I want to convert the following to radians, which means they're in degrees, but I want radians, which means they need pi. So I'm going to multiply by pi and divide by 180.